Emily Bertucci, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Welcome. So nice to see all of you here. Just wanted to let you know there is no streaming happening over on Facebook. Not because I meant to, for whatever reason it has glitched, but we did decide we were going to sort of move towards YouTube anyway, so maybe it's a good thing. So we'll just have to let our Facebook people know. If you have a friend over on Facebook, tell them, come over here. Come over to YouTube and see Kylie. So how are you all? Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Yes, please remember to thumbs up if you like it, though. Only if you like it. So has everyone got their beveragino? I think I'll grab my beveragino.
Beveragino?
Someone say beveragino? I feel they
Someone
did.
say beveragino?
Yeah, that was me.
Beveragino!
Beveragino! So I've got my protein water this morning. I'm doing my best before we go to Mexico next week. Cannot believe it. 0.1 of demonstrators worldwide achieve these trips or exciting things. But yes, we're heading off to Mexico. We just got to add the disclaimer. Just so that you don't think everyone can do it, which I'm pretty sure most of you know that. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it, right? But I'm very, very excited that we head off next week, and Jessie and Bella are going to be hanging out, which is very sweet. Yes, these are my edible earrings. They look like freckles, but they're not actually edible, so don't try and eat my earrings. Hi, Lisa, and a big shout out to, please, to all of our members. We're thrilled. There's over 50 of you now, and we are so, so excited to be partnering with all of you. Bruno went live a couple of times this week, and I'll be going live today. So we're very excited to have you beautiful members behind the scenes watching a few things. And there's going to be some behind the scenes for Mexico, which is just so exciting to be able to show you a few little cool little behind the scenes that no one else will see. So thank you very, very much to everyone that subscribed. If you're not sure how to subscribe, if you go to our homepage, you'll actually see, like on YouTube, you'll see a little join button, but I'll also pop up a link as well. That might help you to find it easier. Find it really easy. I just want to see here. I'll just make sure the sound is turned down because I do not want to hear myself twice. It's bad enough once, right? It's like, no, I don't want a repetitive. So I just want to jump over here onto YouTube. Ah, yes, we've got Cards by Tick. If you could just let me know what your first name is, just so that I can give you a shout out. Is it TLC? Tender Love and Care. And Lisa Webster is in the house. She is also one of our members. And remember, you will both be able to come over later on and watch a catch up. Charlene is also in the house, a member. Welcome. That's very exciting. And Bruno Bertucci is also a member. Oh, isn't he the supportive husband? It's Tammy! Yay, Tammy. I'm glad I know that. I'll make sure to write that down. So that is very exciting. So we have both a demonstrator level and a creative level. So whatever suits you in memberships, you can check that out. Now, someone said that Melissa said, I heard from another demonstrator that Facebook is no longer allowing streaming on group pages. So that is an interesting point. It's true in groups. We just got a new member. Kayla Renee! So yes, it is true in groups that you can't stream, but there is another way. So if your friend is looking for support on how to do that, it's actually not that difficult. You just need to use a stream key. So it is possible. And Carrie is here too, and Marie. Oh, that's very exciting. Thank you, our beautiful members. We're very, very pleased to have you here. But yes, there is a way to do it, but the Facebook page is very different to a group. So it really should have happened, but for whatever reason it hasn't. Sometimes it likes to have a little hissy fit. So what have we got on today? We are going to be crafting with some retiring products because we do not want to miss out on the opportunity of getting retired products before they go to get forever. They're going to go completely. So the two that I wanted to play with today, and I think it's a really good idea to have as many young man cards, like stamp sets, as you possibly can, because we don't usually get like young teenage boy type stamp sets, and I think that's really important. Hi Lena, hi Cheryl, good to see you both here. So we're going to have a play of these today. Now the It's a Science is actually on sale. So this one I think is half price, Bruno was telling me, but I'll have a little look here in Australia. And then we've also got this one here, which is really awesome, the gaming one. So I just think for a young man, but obviously there's a lot of girls that love to game. So there's a lot of gamers out there. So it's a really important thing I think to keep something like that is really important. So, oh, Carrie's in the middle of chopping. That's very exciting. Yes, it's very true, Charlotte. Yes, Elijah, I'm thinking of you as a young man. And Charlotte said, Kylie's inspiration carries over even if the products don't. And you know what? There's certain products, I think, even if some of you are demonstrators here, there's some products that you just know you're going to keep. They just stay in your little repertoire because there's not a lot of that genre. And I feel that these two stamp sets in particular are they're very, very special because of that reason for the boys. So keep that in mind that, they are going and you're going to get this new catalogue. And to be honest, I don't think I've seen anything in the new catalogue that sort of jumps out teenage boy to me. I think it sort of suits us, but not necessarily the young man in our life. So let's have a little play. I got a lot of questions about this card, and it is deceptively very simple. It may look challenging and it may look like, whoa, what is happening there? But you will look at it and go, are you kidding me? Is that all you did? I like those type of cards. The cards that you're like, really? What? This is what? That's all it was? Good. We like easy. So another thing that we did yesterday, to give you a little heads up, is we filmed the online stamping retreat intro video with Lisa and Gina. We hung out with them for an hour or two and we had so much fun. This intro is going to be just as funny as any of the others. And every single retreat, I learned things about Bruno and I learned things about Lisa and Gina. And it is hilarious. It was so funny. The things that I learnt was like mind-blowing. Not only is Gina a criminal, but so is Lisa. No, I'm kidding. But am I kidding? You'll have to come to Online Stamping Retreat to make sure that you watch our intro video, because I tell you what, it's got some pretty interesting information in there. So I'll send you the link so that you can sign up to the wait list. But just keep in mind that next week, it doesn't mean you're registered. So don't get confused and think, oh, yeah, I've done it. Yeah, you need to actually register. It just means that you'll get the email saying you can register now. It just means that you won't be behind the 8 ball. You won't be left by the side going, how did I miss this? How did I miss out? So I'll pop it up on the chat here. Let's do it on this one. I think that will be better. Yes. That's the correct link. Good. So just, yeah, make sure that you go over to Online Stamping Retreat and sign up for that wait list. Because we're going pineapples this time too. The pins are coming soon. So you can even scan that QR code too up in the corner if that's easier. Scan over there or take a photo of this and then you can scan later. So yeah, FYI. Okay, on to crafting. Let's have some fun, peeps. What are you all doing today? Some of you are loving chopping. Some of you are organising. There's always something to organise in the craft room, isn't there? That's what I actually really enjoy, like the sort of organising bit. It's fun. Some of you might be putting stickers on your stamp sets. There's always something fun to do in the craft room. Ah, Nicole Blowers just became a member. Yay! Congratulations, Nicole. We love having you. Now, I'll just make sure that this is where I need it to be. Oh, that's why that has been moving, because when I move this, it moves that. That's how it works, isn't it, people? That's how things move. I'll just make sure it's wee. Okay, because I moved the downward facing camera and then it moved the face forward camera. Didn't want that to move. Now, is the face down good? Yes, he's happy. I like it there. So these are the colours that we're using today. What colour is this again? This is, it's a very good question, Azure Afternoon. I barely use this colour, but it's so hot on this card. And I think that for a young man or a young lady, it would be a very fun colour. So we have these three colours, just basic black, your basic white, and your Azure Afternoon. And I'll bring over my little trolley here and we'll do some chopping. So the first thing we want to do is just have a layer of the basic black. So this is just your base. So cutting in half. If you don't cut your cardstock in half for your base, card base, then you're probably cutting it according to a different country's size. It really needs to, for the most cost efficient way, it really needs to be cut in half. And you can either cut lengthways like I have, or you can cut landscape and cut in half that way. And it just creates a different fold. So this one here you'll see opens like so. But the normal sort of standard card that most people are used to receiving opens like that way. So that means you would cut your paper this way in half. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I've seen a lot of people cutting their cardstock wrong, and you're just going to end up having a lot left over on the edge here. See, now I can do my card fronts with the other piece that's left over, and voila, we only have this piece left. But this guy's going to be really handy now because he is a card front. So it just it's utilizing your paper in a much better way. Now we need to chop this one into a card front as well, our Azure Afternoon. So these like if you want to know the sizing that I'm doing, just refer to my card templates, the card template tutorial. And some of you probably you've probably printed this one up, and it's got a list of all of these sizes on the back. So you can either do it that way, or you can actually pre-cut them and then you can see them like as a real life sketch, which this is really handy too. So this is the usual way that people have cards, but I like mine to open like so. But the card front that I'm cutting is Poppy Parade size. So I've just done the base and I've cut Poppy Parade size. So if you have our templates, this will translate into whatever measurement you use, like magic. And then I'm going to do the same for that. So it's poppy parade size, okay? Just to keep that in mind. And if you don't have our card templates, where have you been? Oh my goodness, your life will change forever. Everyone can attest to that. They'll be like, yeah, I use them all the time. And that's how we sound. We're like, yeah, totes. It's the best thing ever. So that's the link there that I've popped up. Because they really do help. The first time I showed Bruno my card templates, he was like, what? I have to use them? Like, no, I don't want to use that layer. And then eventually he's like, can I please borrow your card templates? And I'm like, sure you can. Now, this is how technical this little bit here goes. So first of all, what we might do actually is just line this up and make sure that it fits on this front layer. And then we're going to do a bit of stamping. But we are going to have our little thing like this. Because, you know, we like geometric random designs for computer games. I feel like that fits quite nicely there. And we could possibly come down a little bit actually. Yes, I like that. And I like it to go through the edge there. And all we're going to do, I know this is exactly what I was saying before, super duper technical people, this is how I chopped, that looks really good, this is how I chopped this piece here. I know, this is it, ready? It's pretty technical stuff. One, and line that up, and two. So they're not going to be absolutely spot on, but that's okay. We've got a bit of wiggle room there. And watch what happens here. Then that is going to get stuck down, and we have this like cool diagonal random panel on the front. A lot of people ask me about this. They're like, how did you do that? That's how I did that. And that's all you're left over. So it's worth like having the full piece, because then you can line that up where you want it to, and make sure that your little, whatever stamp you're using, you can make sure that you're fitting that on correctly. So there we go. Now we can stamp already, peeps. So much fun. And we're going to be doing a little bit of colouring today as well, because colour is so much fun, especially with blends. So I'll do the gaming one. Ooh, Caroline likes a bit of gaming. Gaming has taken off so crazy. There are people who, let me educate you if you don't realise these things that are going on in the world. But just as you are watching me today, and people think it's pretty funny that people watch me on YouTube, my friends in particular are like, what? You make videos? Who watches you? And I just have a little chuckle to myself. I'm like, oh, quite a few people watch. And no one quite gets it but us, right? We understand each other. But there's actually gamers out there that watch each other play games. And they give hints and tips, just like I'm giving hints and tips to all of you with crafting. There's people out there that do it for gaming. And they have a whole community, and they support each other, and they also compete against one another. And some people remain anonymous, but it's a big thing. So who knows, we might get a gamer watching this going, oh my goodness, I might get into card making now as well. Because I'm a gamer and I love this card. So fussy cutting, people, I know it's difficult, but it is worth it. Just take your time. Remember, your right hand, if you're right-handed, is just chopping up and down. Your left hand is moving. Just keep practicing this skill, because I don't want you to not want to get a stamp set just because you've got a fussy cutter, because the results are worth it. So just take your time, don't rush. I think a lot of times it is rushing or trying to be too precise. Maybe some of you are perfectionists and you want it like absolutely perfect, and it's just not going to look like that. But when you stick it down, for whatever reason, it hides a lot of the flaws. And whatever you do, do not cut on the line. You're cutting just a tiny bit away from that main line. And you want to try and keep that consistency all the way around the edge as you're chopping. And it's so worth it, okay? And yes, that's true, Charlotte. You want the snips, and they need to be sharp. So I've got like a little ribbon on my sharpest ones, and you want to make sure that you're always popping your little protector back on. For a long time, I didn't use the protector. I'm like, whatever, it doesn't need it. But this is so fine, these scissors, that they get damaged very quickly and they lose their choppiness. So just make sure that you look after them. It's very important. And thank you for putting up that link, Bruno. He put up the link to join as a member. So we're going to colour that guy in, and I actually went to Google to find out the Xbox. I never played Xbox. I was a Nintendo girl. This was my jam. I was addicted to Mario Brothers, of course. We had to make sure that we completed all of them. And I also was addicted to RoboCop. Bruno was what game did you play, Bruno? He did like a Tetris one, a Mario Tetris. I forget the name of it. Did any of you have a game that you used to play, or maybe your kids played continually? Because yeah, that was my thing. But I felt like, this fit really nicely on here. And it just, yeah. Unless we go retro today, should we try a retro card? I could do two controllers, because you know that reminds me of when I used to go up against my my brother and sister and beat them. I could do two of them. Let's just have a little play, why don't we? Dr. Mario, that's right. And Kirsty, you used to play Dr. Mario too, didn't you? Yes. So fun. Let's get some more scrap paper. Of course you were singing the theme song. I was singing hours and hours of that. I think my mum was happy. There was 5 children, so she's like, go play, goodbye. Go play your computer games. Leave me alone. 1. These are upside down, by the way. I was like, what way did I used to? Yeah, the buttons were on the right. Yes. Look at those. They look so cute. Because we always like to change things up around here, don't we? Things never are the same. But I'm going to have to Google the Nintendo colours, because I'm pretty sure, look, I probably could push myself, but I feel like, just cut that out around there. I feel like it was grey, but I can't remember. I think it was a light grey, and the control bit was a darker grey. And the buttons, I feel like they were like green, red, blue, and yellow. But we'll see how close I am. I'll get a Google image and see if my memory has stayed intact from when I was 12. Ah, so fun. We're going retro, peeps. So instead of having the Xbox one, we could have two of these sort of layered over the top of each other like so. Because, you know, that will fill up the space by having two of them. I know, they're so fun. I like that. I think I'm going to do that one. Now, let's have a little look here. I'm going to... Oh, I've got my phone, so I'll use that. I like having one phone spare. It's very handy. So if we go Nintendo control, we should be able to come up. Oh, this is the one that I used to play. Because I was thinking, I don't remember having 4 buttons. This was my one. That's the one I played for sure. Yes. Does that bring back memories, anyone? So we've got our red buttons. So I think we'll do all red. We'll do the background black. And then we'll do a smoky slate around the outside just to try and get that retro feel to it, hey? I like it. So I'm going to use the real red, and I'm just going to use a scratch pad to put underneath because we don't want any transferring to the desk. Or you could use your glass mat, all of you special people that got a glass mat. I'm going to use the other end actually. I have no idea where my glasses went. I need like 10 in every room, I feel. I did do a tidy in here before I started, but that was not one of the things that I stumbled upon in my room. So I must have taken it into the other room. Rookie move. Anyway, I should be able to squint my eyes so that I can actually see between the lines. Yes. So even though it's not like the right number of buttons for a retro, we'll just still make it retro because we can. And I think if we use we've got basic black and the smoky slate. I think I might go quite light with the smoky slate. We'll start with the lightest one, because we can always go darker, but you can never go lighter unless you use the color lifter. This is like totally nostalgic. So this could actually be like if you could get to know something about your friends and you say, oh, you know, like we were chatting about Mario, Dr. Mario with Kirsty, our friend. And she's like, oh, I used to play that. And like if you learn something about someone, you're like, if you know that that's a game that they used to play and it's something nostalgic to that person, what a cool card to give them. They'd be like, oh my goodness, I've just been transported to a time in my life where I played computer games. So it doesn't just have to be for young men or young women. It could be for the 40-something-year-olds that were playing. And even my mum used to play with us, so I'm sure she's got memories of us kids playing with her. Lots of nice memories attached to it. Now, I do want to just do a little line around here. I'm using the light smoky slate. Just to give that a border, because we're going to be colouring in black at the base and black on the control. And so it's just giving it just a little bit of space to be its own colour. Otherwise, it'll look like it's all just one colour, which we don't want that. We want it to sort of stand out separate. And you can see on the controller here, it's got like that little basic grey around the outside that we've copied. Or the smoky slate, I should say. Now, these buttons are going to be basic black as well. So we'll just go around these. And these need to be oh yes. Cool. And then we'll put some black. Oh good, someone's picking up some paper. That's Nanette, that's your friend. Someone said, is it okay if I pick up paper from your place? Sure. So that one's a bit too, oh, it'll probably tone down a bit actually. But I'll just try the light basic black and see how that looks. Because that's very black. Yeah, I think I like this one better. Just so that you can still see the remote, whereas that's very dark. And then we need these buttons. And then we'll do the background. And I think, yeah, we'll keep it with the, just want to do the edges first. Just to give me a bit of a buffer, and it means I won't go, hopefully, into that area where I'm not colouring. And same with this. Just give it a bit of room. Okay. Oh, I love colouring so much. I'll just go into like, oh. Do you love to colour? I love blending. Yeah, the basic black light is definitely the winner. So if this was the dark one, you just couldn't see anything underneath. I feel like that is ready to play game on. That's so fun. Yeah, that's definitely right. Those buttons there, it would be good to have. You could possibly maybe put, like, if you see this old retro one, you could possibly put like a little rectangle around them, or just, swap out the colors, make them like color in smoky slate, the actual buttons, and then blend that way. Just like if you use the same sort of colors, because you can see here it still looks like the Nintendo controller, but it's not exactly the same with the 4 buttons. I think later controllers had that maybe. So you better get this in your cart if you haven't got this in your repertoire already. Then don't miss out, especially because the science one, you will see how well it pairs with this set. It's so much fun. Like, to me, it just looked like the like Sony PlayStation type like branding, but in the science one. Oh yeah. So the buttons are a little bit weird, but we can layer over the top of that so that it goes like that. So, but I think it looks cute. I think it's going to give the idea, the impression of what we're looking for, which is that retro Nintendo controller. That's exciting. Now, Lisa asked a question. Are all the cards at the May workshop going to be complex, or will you have quick and easy ones? So Bruno's mentioned, Lisa Webster, they are all fun fold cards. Some are simpler than others, but they're all fantastic. I like the way you said that, Bruno. Yes, our combo one that Bruno and I made, it's just the first time Bruno showed me that designer, I thought, and this is for Online Stamping Retreat, in case you don't know, those of you watching. But yeah, at first I was like, oh, is that too simple? But we've made quite a few projects using the fun fold, and it's a really, really simple fun fold, but super effective. And that's sort of I love that. But Bruno has made, typical Bruno, he he has done a very challenging one at the end. I mean, it looks challenging. He said it's easy. So maybe it's one of those cards that looks hard, but it actually isn't in reality. So, but we will find out. And the event is set up in a way that you don't have to finish it on the day. In fact, give yourself time and, maybe just watch us to begin with, and then you can do it later. Just so that you're not sort of feeling rushed. So these were the ones here. I felt like that's very much like a computer game. And I loved that one as well. These are really cute, the little bubbles. They could be used for a lot of different things. So if you've got like underwater scenes or things like that, yeah, really handy. And these could be used for a lot of different things as well. So it's just it's a great stamp set, that one. I really enjoy it. So we'll do the base. So we just really need to focus on around the edge here. We don't have to do the whole thing. And we'll use our trusty little buddy here. Give it a good amount because you want that to take away all the static from the base. And I've got my tray here with my basic white powder. So you just need your Versamark, and we're going to use, let's get some blocks here that we can use. We've got this one here. I've got one over here. I'll use a smaller one, I feel. Yes, this one looks good. And I'll change that one to a smaller one. I think they look good, those three. And we're just going to create a background pattern. I actually want to use, there's like a plus, yeah, that's the one. And this one here. I didn't use it last time, but I like the plus one as well. I've got the plus. It's almost like level up. And I'll put that on a block. Yep, there are two little ones. Oh, here's a good little one. You can go on there. Got another little one like that. I think I've only got this one. Will that fit on? Oh yeah, that one might be alright. As long as I don't wobble it. No wobbling. Okay, now we can stamp. Have a bit of fun. So when you're layering a background like this with any background stamp sets where you've got multiple small backgrounds, it's really good to try and keep like flipping so that it doesn't look the same, and also try not to put the same things next to one another. And then that creates a really nice background image. And also you want to sort of have it half on, half off. Like you don't want it to just all be stamped perfectly on the card. So I'll show you what I mean. So this plus, we can sort of go off the side here and go off the edge. And same with anything down the bottom here. You know, don't go like all the way in the card. You want to sort of go partially off the card. And that just creates like a continual background piece. And so you just keep flipping, turning and flipping. These backgrounds are fun. So you can do this with flowers, you can do this with say a pattern stamp set. So anytime you've got like smaller type stamp sets like this where you're like, what am I going to do with something so small? This is a really, really great way to utilize those type of stamp sets. And remember, coming off the side a little bit as well. Good, that's looking great. And use these smaller ones to sort of fill in the gaps. If there's a gap there, you can just use them to fill in. What are we up to? We've used the spirograph style. Good. Okay, so I think that's covered probably most of it. Let's just have a little look here. Yep, that looks good. Great. If we need to add some more, we can. And then I just bring it over here to my tray. Pop all the embossing powder on. And the tray catches everything so that we can pop everything back in the container. Look at that. Isn't that the funnest? And so this principle, see how we've got half off stamping here and half off stamping. That's a really great tip when it comes to background stamping, and a really great tip with smaller stamps. So just remember this for whenever you're wanting to create your own sort of background. And it's good, you could obviously just use paper, but we don't have cool paper like this one. But this is almost like creating your own paper, really, by using the smaller stamp sets. Okay, now I'll just get a tissue just to wipe off all the powder residue. Just make sure that it's had enough time to dry there. Yep, that's looking good. And that's just really going to cause those colours to the basic white on the black to really pop then, because you're just taking off any of that embossing buddy, any of that extra bit. See how black that is now, whereas before it had sort of, you know, like a dull look to it. But look at that, isn't that hot? I just love that background. To me, this combo of the It's a Science and the Level Complete is just, it's a match made. It just, yes, it makes sense. Once you stamp it, you're like, of course they're meant to go together. But they're actually not meant to go together, but we've made it go together. You always make a mess when you emboss. As long as you got the tray, I think that's the best thing I've ever got. Do they have the tray in the new catalogue? Is that staying? I haven't even looked at that. So if you don't have one of these, get it now, because I don't know if it's in the new catalogue. Yes. And then you just pop that back on, and then I put everything back in my tray, and it's all happy. But we've got some more embossing to do, so we'll keep this guy handy. We've got and let's just have a look at what this looks like on here. See, perfect. We've done a very good job of having that sort of showing behind the background here. And we could even sponge this a little bit. I might even just cut a little slither more off that side, because what have we got? We've got our two controllers, and we're going to have two sentiments. No, I think that's actually going to look good. We'll see once we put the sentiment down, because where's the... Yeah, I think that looks good. And then we've got this one down the bottom here, which is level up. So I think that will frame it really nicely. So again, we get our embossing buddy. Like so. And we'll do the achievement unlocked. And usually with these stamps, what you can do is just sort of line it up on your grid paper, or use your block to see through your grid paper and just sort of line it up with the block. Like, make sure your block's nice and even. And I find that helps me sort of, manage the, how straight it's going to be. So this one here, remember, we've got to do it straight. So I've like lined it up with the grid paper there. And then that way I've got some sort of idea of like where straight is. Some sentiments are a little bit harder than others. This one's probably a little bit of an easier one because it's a straight line one. But if you have one that's cursive, then that can get a little bit tricky. So, and do the same again. Line up your little block. Make sure your sentiment's the right way around. Yes. And do the same thing. Line it up with your grid paper where you want it. And I've just like looked at this line and sort of sat it near this one on both sides. Good. And then we'll emboss that. So it's actually a very easy card. You've just got the background, just got the colouring in of the gaming consoles. And yeah, it's just a really fun card that you could use for a lot of different techniques. A lot of different stamp sets, I should say. There we go. So Lisa, you just said that your sentiments are always smeared to the point of unreadability. So maybe, do you mean once you stamp, then they're like all smeared? Because that could be because you're moving. Like sometimes, I don't know why we do it, but when I first started stamping, I would do this thing where I'd stamp and then I'd go and rock it like both sides, and you don't want to. You just want to press, like, and no movement at all with your sentiment, and that just by staying still and just giving it pressure and then lifting that can really help. And yeah, if it's an embossing issue, sometimes, I didn't know this, but if your embossing powder isn't closed properly, it can go off. I've had it happen to me where it bubbled almost. It was really strange, and you could tell when the embossing powder is just, it doesn't work. And that's why I don't put it in a big container. I know some have a really good success with containers, and they put quite a few of their embossing powders in a container. But I'm really worried that it'll get too much air and then become off, because I've had that a few times. I just find this is just the exact amount that I need. I always make sure I screw it on nice and tight. And then, yes, the other thing that Charlotte mentioned is that you want to make sure that your Versamark is in a good place. I usually don't refill my Versamark. I just buy a new one because I know it's like perfectly inked. It's just the right amount of ink. And yeah, I just find I'm better off just replacing the Versamark because it doesn't happen that often. But when I get a new one, I want it to be correct. Whereas if I put it on, I can't trust myself to actually do it perfectly because I end up putting too much on there and then it goes claggy or not enough, and then I'm still frustrated with what I had before. So I hope that helps you. I think the Versamark for me is probably one of the biggest issues, and yeah, the powder. But the buddy, I put quite a lot of the buddy on, which I think helps. Just going to grab some daubers. Where are my little daubers gone? Ooh, is that them over there? Is everyone going to help me look for my daubers? Daubers, where are you? I know Bruno has his own, so I can't blame Bruno. I can't say Bruno, you've stolen my daubers. There's the foam adhesive sheets. There's the watercolour paper. No. Where are you, little ones? Where are you hiding from me? You over here? No. Where have they gone? The daubers have left the building, everyone. They've gone on their own little journey. Some adventure somewhere. They're like, let's get out of here. She hasn't used us in a while. Yes, found them. Okay, everyone, you can stop looking now. I found them. It's all good. Christ averted. I love my daubers. Bruno's got his own case now, which is very exciting. I really hoped that they would bring back the wood mount cases, but they have, alas, they've never returned. But maybe we could find them on Amazon. I have to get my... Bruno's got like Amazon links that for our... So I'm just doing a little bit of daubering around the edge here. So I'll just test that because I don't want it too strong. Yeah, that's good. And that just gives it, you'll see when I put it down what it does. It's little additions like this that just, I don't know, they just make it that little bit extra. And just make everything pop that little bit more. Especially because it is such a simple card. Yes, look at that. I just love the gradient here. So I might even raise this one a little bit, because I think that would look really good too if we put that on dimensionals. And also these guys on dimensionals too. Put that one underneath, like so. Oh yes, do we love it? I really love it. I think that looks so fun. And then we can layer. And yes, that's a very good point, Nicole. Where you store them. I store them in my drawer, like so. I put everything in my tray. All of this in a tray, and then it goes in my drawer, like so. And it's very handy. So I'll stick this one down. That can go on. You can move that out of the way now, my scratch paper. I like to use the green glue, but some of you might be into, here's my green glue remover, because I didn't have the lid on. Don't persecute me. And just make sure that you pop that lid back on. It's very stabby. Ask me how I know. It's very sharp. But yes, I love those new ones. The cutter and the pokey pokey are amazing. And they're the technical terms. There we go. And we've got some dimensionals here that we can use. I've got the outside pieces, which is good. Now I've got adhesive snips. So the ones that don't have my ribbon on it, I use for adhesive when I remember. And you just snip all the edges, and then you can have like these extra little pieces here. Nothing gets wasted around here. One time I found one of these in the bin, and you should see the look I gave Bruno. Oh my goodness, I was like, you threw them in the bin? His face, he was like, uh-oh, busted. So wasteful. They're perfectly acceptable dimensionals. So even though we've got the layer with the, oh yeah, that's good. So I like that. It's got like a little bit of the border around. Yes. And then we'll do some on these. I don't know whether I'll do maybe one down and one up. Yes, I like that. So let's have a little look here. I think if we have it something like that, and it's sticky. Yeah, something like that. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da! Achievement unlocked. And then we'll do the inside too, because we can and I do the Poppy Parade size again. Yes. And we'll get our scratchy paper. And I'll just do a few of these little same sort of thing. So these smaller stamps are great for inside your card as well. And let's do that one. And this guy, I like this one. Very good. And that goes on the inside. So just simple, but I think it really is quite effective to add just something on the inside. And if you wanted to, you could even do the same background border and have it on here on the inside as well. I think that would look really cool with the white emboss on here as well. We can do it with the other piece that we've got here. Good. And I'll just get the I'm naughty and I haven't cleaned my chamois. So I'll just clean some of these with my wet ones. No craft room can go without wet ones. They're so handy. Good. And then we just stamp that off, and you can use a tissue if you want to, but they dry pretty well. Good. So what I'm going to do is cut this down to Poppy Parade size, because that is our go-to layer size for inside cards. And we'll just add this little bit of extra, because we can, right? Let's just, you know, if we're going to do a job, we'll do it properly, right? We'll go to town. So I've got all of those, good. And again, we'll just give that a good covering there. And remember, it doesn't matter if it discolours the cardstock, because you're going to wipe it later with a tissue and that'll all come off. Got our Versamark. Pull out a few of these and our white. So let's do another background. So again, off the page. Oh yes, your gamer son would love it. Yes, and your 14-year-old grandson. Yep. Yeah, sorry about the banging. Thank you, Bruno, for letting me know. I've got a, there's something to do with where the microphone's sitting, that when I put a block down, I've got to be very gentle, because it like it echoes and picks up the sound. There's always something to improve. I need, like, maybe I can put like a little chamois just for my blocks. So I put it on a sound insulator so that it doesn't bang. Okay, where are we at? Good. Just want to make sure that I'm seeing the spot right. Yes. So I'll show you it so far. Can you see that? Getting there. Layer upon layer. And another thing with background stamps, so right about then I was thinking I'll just go over here, but just be really careful that you keep following the order, because what can happen is you end up trapping yourself. And what I mean by that is, say for instance, I had already stamped over here and put the +1. Well, then I've left too much room and I can't stamp in between. So you just want to make sure that you're following, like, either this way, like don't start stamping up here if you haven't already done in here, and don't start stamping over the side here if you haven't filled in the rest. So you just want to follow it along, up and down, so that you know where your spacing is. That's a little hot tip for you. Ask me how I know. Over the years I've gone, what did you stamp there for? You've trapped yourself now. You're trapped. Can't go forward, can't go back. This is fun. So I'm just constantly looking to see, like, am I doubling up? Am I near the same thing? And you'll see once we emboss how it looks so good having like different steps near one another. Yes, Elaine. Oh, yeah, I believe it, because I was saying just before that there's a lot of girls that are gamers out there now too. I mean, I used to love it. I probably would have become a gamer if my mum had have let me sit in front of the television for longer. Like professional, probably. I really loved it. Okay, where are we at? Oh, yes, we can do one of these. And one of these on the end. Look how close we're getting. Good. And I think we're due for a word. And we need that one. So I'm constantly just checking that I'm not doubling up near one another so that it looks random rather than repetitive, because it just, yeah, it doesn't look good when you repeat things too many times next to each other. And one more little snip of a stamp up the top there. Okay, let's have a little look here. I think that's looking done. So let's emboss that and have a look. We'll dump a whole lot of this white emboss on top. So I like to have most of it up the top, and then you can lift, being very careful not to put your finger on the card. Give it a little flick, and then this is where you can see here, so there's a little bit missing from here, so then you can come in and add it on there. And then around here you can see I've just added a little bit there that shouldn't be there. So you can either grab your brush and do it that way, but I also find a really good thing to do is using the take your pick tool. Usually the scratchy one is better actually. So let's use that one. Oh, this one over here, not the thin one, but this one. I like this one the best, and I find it really enables me to get in there and just scratch away that embossing powder. Good. Now, if it's not going to budge, which it looks like it's not moving, and you can use your brush to sort of move that away. Good. And I think everything else looks okay. Put a little bit on there. And now we can emboss. Move your tray away, always important. You do not want to emboss your powder in your tray. I haven't actually ever done that, but it would be devastating if you did. looks good. So this is really interesting what's happened here. And I'm glad I can show you this. So see how down the bottom here, it's like that little bit bubbly and it's not as crisp and clean up the top here as that one. So it's really interesting. I don't know what causes this, whether it's not having enough powder on top, but every now and then it just happens to me. And that's that look that I was telling you about that kind of just doesn't quite emboss as well as crisp as this. So maybe with a background this size, you could do half and then emboss. So it could be that, you know, the Versamark was sitting there too long and then it lost its stick. So yeah, just keep testing different things. I mean, I don't mind the look, but if that's something that has happened to you, you know, I much prefer it to look like the crisp image up the top there. Yeah, see that? It's just wiped off. So let's just wipe that and see if we can add a little bit down the bottom here just to fix that little area. So it's probably just yeah, the Versamark hasn't grabbed as well as it should have or something like that down the bottom here. But you watch, if we put that on and just emboss those two, no one will know. No one's gonna know. Just all of you watching. Yeah, so you can see how strong. So maybe it could be a case too that it's just leaving your Versamark too long in between embossing. So that could be another thing to try. Everything is trial and error in crafting. You just have a play, see what you think. And I think I'll do the lighter ones up the top there. Let's have a look. Oh, no, actually I like about that. Let's stick that down. And I know it's a bit of work for the inside, but it's just fun. Like, you're already crafting, you're already here. You may as well just do that little bit extra on the inside. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Because I think I would be really, only 81 of you. I think that would be really cool to get a card like this. And if you wanted to here, you could even add a few little embeds. But I like that crisp, clean, retro look. Just a cozy little group. And I love it. And I think, yeah, I think the framing has come up nice. And I do like that I've been able to adapt, because this is the other one with the other controller. So you can do the Xbox controller or the Nintendo controller, up to you. But I really like it. So let me know in the comments what you think, if it's something that, a stamp set that maybe you missed and now you're going to go, yeah, putting it in my cart, stat. Because I think for those young men in our lives, they're just going to, and young girls, they're absolutely going to love it. And like what we said, maybe older nostalgic people like me who are like, I remember those days of, of using my Nintendo and playing Mario. I'll have to put this on my family chat and see if they all get nostalgic too, all my brothers and sisters. Yay! Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. And hopefully that even if you're not into this sort of card, or you don't have a young grandson or friend, just the tips with the background image, I hope that that really helps you to learn a few new things when it comes to making your own background. Yeah, I think it is a very good masculine style card. And obviously, you know, you can use this sketch for any type of card. Like in the background here, you could have you know, wild animals or something, and then at the front have one of those like house sketch things, or you can change it completely different. Or if you want to make it feminine, have some beautiful flowers in the background, and then at the front have a big zinnia or something. So this sketch could be used for a lot of different things. So yeah, definitely need this in my craft room. I love Mario. Oh, you've just ordered it. Fantastic. That's so exciting. I love to enable you all. You know that. I'm an enabler. So thank you so much for coming to our free class today. I hope that you picked up lots of tips and tricks. We love being able to bring you this free content every week because you all support us so much, and we can't thank you enough for all of you purchasing our video class bundles, our tutorials online, coming along to online stamping retreat, purchasing our YouTube memberships. We're so grateful for your support because that enables us to give you all of this free content. So thank you very, very much for all of you. Oh, well done. Bruno's almost finished the colour dauber insert, so that will be great. And we'll look for a wood case on Amazon. Hopefully we can find that and give you the link next week. So what is happening this week? There's a lot happening. So make sure that you sign up if you live in Australia. Sign up for our paper club because that will be all happening on the 1st of May. We'll be ordering that. So take a photo of this. You can get amazing paper from the new catalogue and have like samples of all of the different papers. And we love paper. We love it, chop it, right? We also have our in color club. So if you're going to take a photo of this screen and then you can scan that code there, that looks really pretty, I must say, Bruno. You've done a really nice job of this image. So you can be in our in color club, and that means you can get all of the brand new amazing colors. Oh my goodness, they are just beautiful. Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, Peachy Peach, I don't forget the peach one. Pretty in Pink. The peach one's the only one I stumble on. Peach Pie? It's a peach pie? You'll all help me. And make sure that you get your shopping list because the new catalogue is coming ASAP. Bruno has just done a list of everyone who's ordered with us in the last 6 months. They are going to be receiving one of these annual catalogues for free. Do you know how much postage is now? Oh my goodness, it's like $10 a catalogue plus the cost of the catalogues. So you need to be a shopper, a VIP of ours, to receive the catalogue. So if you shop with us, free catalogue your way, which is part of the service, our way of thanking you for looking after us. We then look after you, so thank you. So just shop with us and then you will ensure that you get one of these brand new catalogues. And you can also grab our beautiful latte suite. Have you had a look at this suite? We have an amazing tutorial that goes with this as well. So if you haven't got the little latte tutorial video, or it's actually not a video class, it's just a tutorial that Bruno and I did together. It's a Bruno-Kylie combo. So you can get this suite of products now. These are online exclusives. And this is the bundle. So if you want to go shopping and get yourself the little latte tutorial, this is a bundle that Bruno and I put together. And big thank you to everyone who has purchased this too. If you shop with us, then you will receive this bundle for free. So please, if you shop with us this month, just FYI, it's coming your way because we want to give you lots of inspiration. So we have a lot of creative support for those that shop with us and our team members as well. So that is the latest news, everyone. We do have some other video class bundles, of course, that you can grab. This is one of the older ones, but we do have the new Nature Sweetness suite. That is the latest one. So you can scan that code and check out our video class bundles as well, which I love them. They're so good. That's 12 different designs, 12 videos on this one. and they're all different demonstrators from around the world. So you can grab that amazing tutorial and put it in your cart. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate the way that you look after us so that we can give you this free content. And big thank you to all of our members. We will be going live very soon. As soon as this finishes, our members are going to get a behind the scenes and we'll have a little chat while I do a tidy. You can let me know what you thought of the card today. We can find out what you're up to for the week. And we're going to be talking all things Mexico as well. I've got some things that Bruno has planned and booked in so we can have a chat to our members about what we're going to be up to when we go to Mexico. So we look forward to seeing you all there. If you can't come live, that's okay. The video is always available for our members to watch anytime they like. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Actually, will we see you next week? Yes, we will see you next week. I was like, what day is it? Yes, we will see you next week. I'm going to be doing a project that will help you to see why you must sign up for Online Stamping Retreat. So it's going to be a bit of fun next week. So I might go back into the archives, the Online Stamping Retreat archives, and see what I can find, and we'll do a bit of fun fold. So if you've been to an Online Stamping Retreat previously, pull out your old previous Online Stamping Retreat and we can use some new products with the Online Stamping Retreat. And this is the beauty of the Online Stamping Retreat. It's the gift that keeps coming. It really does. So yes, big hugs to you all. Thanks for being here and we'll see you next week. Bye everyone. Thank you. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.